Hi, I'm Oliver. Welcome to today's book discussion. By the way, I hope everyone's having a nice summer, because I sure am. So I was in the middle of the woods for the past couple of weeks. So no running water, no electricity, aka reading time. So one of the books that I've read is The Running Man, or Running Man. Yeah, The Running Man. And it's by Richard Bachman, which is Stephen King's pseudonym. So on my edition, it clearly states that the author of the book is Stephen King. Maybe if you go to a used bookstore, probably an old edition would have Richard Bachman as the author. So I got around to this book because it's on my Kobo, and you receive weekly suggestions about, pushing, buy this, buy that. And by the way, if you have a Kobo and are subscribed to that letter, did you notice that you sometimes receive, I was talking about that with a friend, and you receive your email that says, you might like this book, and you're like, I already have this book. I don't need to, but I already have it. So, but they do sometimes send great suggestions, I found. So, for example, another one that I mentioned in one of my earlier video, The Chrysalids here, was a suggestion. So that's another suggestion that came from the fact that I bought The Hunger Games and that I bought The Chrysalids. So, one of those post-apocalyptic, well, this one maybe not post-apocalyptic, no, but dystopian future. So basically greedy, not that great future, which, I like that. And it's it's not as, it could be, no, it is a science fiction book. So not only is it set into the future, it is somewhat of a commentary of today's society. So The Running Man is by the way, that's a perfect book for public transportation. It adds 100 chapters. The chapters are roughly between 2 to 10 pages. So if you are on the subway, metro, buses for a short amount of time, or during your 15-minute break and you would like to read the chapter, that's perfect. The book is structured into 100 chapters that literally goes chapter 100, chapter 99, chapter 98, 97, up until 1. So I thought that was a little cute, a little clever. I like that. So the story is set into the future, into a big metropolitan American city, and they are obsessed with reality TV, game shows, reality TV competition. So all of those type of TV programming. And the most popular show that they have is The Running Man. So that's basically, they take a bunch of guys and they need to survive for 30 days. Not in the wild or nothing dangerous or weird. It's basically, alright, you just get out of the TV studio and survive for 30 days. By the way, everyone will be trying to kill you. So, that I found kind of weird. The Hunger Games, for all of its, by the way, that review is also coming up. But, the Hunger Games, it's in an arena with, they talk about it in this book. There's so much collateral damage, it doesn't make sense. Like, in my head, when I look at the Hunger Games, the fact that you have, it made sense. Oh, we have a TV show where people kill people, but it's enjoyable. There's no collateral damage in the Hunger Games. There's tons of collateral damage in that. Anyway, sideline. So we meet the main character, which is named Richard, which typical Stephen King character, by the way. I love Stephen King. So, it's a out-of-luck, lower middle class dude. A typical American. I swear, I spit, I drink beer, probably smoke a little cig. So, you see the kind, and he decides to enter the Running Man because his daughter is very sick and they need the money, and he can't keep a job because, you know, he likes to roughhouse and his wife supports the family a little bit by turning tricks. So he doesn't want her to do that, and he feels that he has failed as a father, so he decides to go and enter because the prize for surviving the Running Man, which obviously no one has ever achieved, and yet they haven't changed the rule, it's still kept its allure, like survive for 30 days and you'll win buttloads of money, you know. It has never happened, but ooh, keep on going. Didn't anybody realize that this was, anyway, that was one of the plot holes I found of the book. I mean, if no one ever wins this game with the rules that it has, why have the game kept on going as they are? It doesn't make sense that it hasn't changed it, that people still feel the urge or are compelled to go and participate into that game. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway. Oh, I haven't seen the movie, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, so I can compare it. By the way. And the book is very, very, very much 80s. You know, full of swear word. You know, like, you know, the women wear shoulder pads. And the men all look like YMCA characters. I mean, you know what I mean? You'll see when you read the book. It's very crude. It's sort of very basic. Everything is painted in bright color. I read on something somewhere who was talking, it was a perfume blog, and a woman was talking about an 80s perfume, and I would use the same thing. Yeah, so this book has epaulette, has a perm, and wears a thick eyeliner. I mean, come on, you just, no. It's the perfect 80s book. Now, even though the premise is a big leap, like, you have to close your eyes as to why are people taking part into this game? Well, I guess that's not important. Let's just assume that they do. And that the main character, Richard, is not that engaging. Like, I found him to be just a little bit crude, too proud. But yet, you know, as the story went on, it was resourceful. What you will love about this book, which is what I love about this book, was the pace. It's exhilarating. There's no down tempo. It just keeps on going all the time. There's always a new obstacle. I mean, the whole nation is hunting for this guy. And very quickly, like within, if I remember, I think it's within the first week of the Running Man, or that particular edition of the Running Man being set up, he remains the only surviving contestant. So obviously it's the whole nation is against him and only him, because there's no other Running Man contestant, and there's this relentlessness about it. Now, it's a Stephen King book, so I will leave it at that, and if you think that you would know the ending because it's a Stephen King book, I'd say you're right, because I read tons of Stephen King. Yeah, you know how it ends. You know how it ends. Actually, another reason was why I found that the book was very much so 80s. It's very much so sexist. I mean, it's I'm a proud feminist. I'm a proud feminist, and you know, there's no women in high position of power. There's no, other than the wife who turns tricks, so he's basically a prostitute. I mean, it's, you don't really meet any women. It's very guy-centric, very testosterone heavy, very, yeah, very much so. So, anyway, give it a try. Tell me if you've liked it. I mean, it's definitely, I'm on the run. I'm on the run for my life. I'm doing this for my family. It's very engaging. It's thrilling. I couldn't put it down. There's no downtime. It's go 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 from start to finish. I mean, literally, the game of the Running Man. I think starts on something like page 40 or something. So it gets right down to business and never lets go until the last page. So I quite like it. So I strongly recommend it on an ebook. It's not expensive. It's an old book. I'm sure you can find it in the used bookstore very, very easily. So there you go, The Running Man. Let me know what you thought. Or if you read it already, because it's been out for so long, maybe you've already read it. So did you like it? So let me know. So that would be it for me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can check out my Facebook or my Twitter. You can ask me a question, leave comments, suggestion. You know, if you have planned to read this book now that you watched this, or you're still going to read it or not, yeah, let me know. So until next time, take care. Bye.